Cheers, everybody.
Woo. Happy Thursday. Oh, goodness.
I'm still recovering from SSP Thursday last week, Chris.
Well, so am I, because I still don't have the reel put up yet of like the highlighted cards. So
I was wondering if you got your eyesight back. I know that was quite a struggle.
It took about 36 hours to really be able to read a street sign again.
Okay, we got a lot to get to. I'm wearing a new jersey, Chris. See if you can check out what this is. Can you read what that says?
It says Rattlers, but I don't know what that means.
It's it's the Brewers minor league team.
Ah.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. And I'll show you the back.
Hold on. Oh, tell me it's Cheerio.
If you can read it.
Hold on. I was just looking at something else to make it back. Yeah. That looks that looks a lot nicer than a lot of our softball jerseys. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the neck's a little, you might say, but this was a stadium giveaway, and it was a Facebook purchase. Some guy had extras, picked it up for $30, shipped. Pretty nice little addition to the jersey collection.
Can't go wrong. Shelly the Turtle, I'm not going to highlight the comment, but I'm watching, but I'm not bidding. It's all yours, buddy. Go get them. I've never seen that card before, so I hope you get it. Oh boy!
So
no suspense out there.
Hopefully, you're using our affiliate link, so we get a kickback from eBay.
Right?
Yes, it's the Wisconsin A team. I believe they're still in Appleton, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So we've got a lot to get to tonight. A lot of talk already on here about PSA and all the news that they've been putting out. So we'll get to that. James Wynn, Chris is going after the patch auto from the Pope. Hopefully somebody in the
I don't understand. I don't know how things work. If someone in the comments could explain to Jeff and I, like, how is Topps allowed to make this card? Like, do they have rights to it? Like, do they have to pay the Pope for using his likeness? Do they pay the Vatican something? Do they have to pay Bernie Sanders that time? Like, I don't know how this works.
I don't either. I was wondering that. Is it because he's a public figure that he that they can just use it, or if it was like maybe a bad picture of him, there could be some liability there. But
it just seems weird. Does that mean Topps can take any famous person and just throw them on a card and make money on it? That feels like, I don't know. It feels wrong. Something about that doesn't seem right. We can't even use licensed music in a YouTube.
Right. We can't even do a little video of the Pope. But yeah, this card. So I wonder, maybe, I'm sure they're making a donation. I'm sure they're making a donation to the Catholic Church based on the profits they make for here. SFO Sox fans getting a little cheap on us. He's waiting for the non-licensed Pope card from Leaf.
Thomas 99, who almost, honestly, that sounds like the name of a Pope, does it not?
Yeah.
It says this card is missing the rookie card logo, which is kind of funny.
It is.
It should at least have a first, right? There should be like a first.
9-year-old rookie. Yeah, it should be first. I mean, unless he's got other cards that we don't know about, which could be.
Yeah. Jacob Fain, I see some Devers comments. We are going to talk about Devers.
We'll get to Devers. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the patch for that, as you call it, Mott's, that table run around his neck, that'd be a high quality patch, better than the napkins you're probably going to get.
Yeah, most likely it'll just be a piece of white from the cuff. If I had to guess.
Rippin' Dodgers, good one. He was on the Cardinals before. Yeah, so this is
I see what you did there.
His first his first Pope card. All right, but before we get into all this other stuff, you don't need permission. I think there's something to that. There's something about being a public figure about that. Yeah, because we know they've done politics. I don't think they had to pay Mike Pence when they put the Topps Now card with the fly on his head. I don't think he got a cut of those profits.
Wow, interesting.
So, well, let's get to Chris's story. Chris has a story for us.
Yeah, before we start, I just want to share something really funny. I thought it was funny. I shouldn't just assume you guys will think it's funny, but I think it's funny. A guy sent me this Uniairs cards, sent me a very funny story on Instagram. He sold a car, I think it was, to I can't think, what is this for? Diaz for the Rays, their leadoff hitter, Yandy. Is it Yandy Diaz? Plays first base. Is that right?
Yandy. Yeah.
Yandy. Okay. So he sold him a car, and I somehow he asked him, like, hey, I have some cards of yours. I would love to get your autograph. Can I send you some cards in the mail and you send them back to me? And Yandy was like, yep, absolutely. You got it. So he sent Yandy 3 cards to sign. And Yandy sent them, signed and sent them back. But whatever you're expecting this to be, it's not going to be what you expect. So let me show you what Yandy Diaz sent back. Okay.
Shelly said the auction went higher than he thought it would, for what it's worth.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Whatever auction you guys are eyeing up.
We'll get there. Ready? All right. So here we go. He sent him 3 baseball cards, 3 2017 Topps cards. And this is what Yandy sent back.
So yeah, he signed right on the top loader.
He signed the top loaders.
Oh,
I mean, this kills me. This cracks me up. I can't decide. Did he not know, or was he just kind of being a jerk, kind of making a joke out of it and being like, "Here are your cards"? I don't know. It's really funny.
Oh my goodness.
Unier, thanks for joining us tonight, and thank you for sharing this. I'm sorry, I did laugh. Oop, I did laugh. It is pretty funny. I go back and forth on whether he was like kind of trolling you, or he thought this was funny, or he just has no concept of what a card is. Like I don't know.
That's incredible. I mean, he's signed cards before. He's in products with signed cards, I think.
I think so too. James has a theory, like never seen a baseball card, but he just thought it was an item. Like it was just the whole thing was one item. I don't know.
Cover on there. Wow.
Chris C, I actually kind of agree with you on this. It still does beat a sticker auto, but I mean, this is just flat out hilarious. I'm sorry, Unier. I have to laugh.
I think it's got to forever display him like that.
It's a great story. It's almost a better story than having the actual card signed.
That's true.
I almost wish he numbered the top loaders, like 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. That would have been great.
Somehow I'm suspecting he doesn't know much about numbering systems on cards if this is what he was signing.
Probably fair. I could see him. Yeah. Maybe he just didn't want to damage the cards. I don't know, but this...
I mean, does anybody have any pack-pulled Yandy Diaz autos? I would assume that he signed some. Yeah. Jay Marble, good point. So you could put like an Acuna in there and have it autographed.
Yeah, a Yandy Diaz Acuna auto. There you go. That's got to be an eBay 1 of 1.
Yeah, do they authenticate top loaders?
They authenticate things, don't they?
Yes, they sure do.
So anyway, I thought that was definitely worth sharing. And Unier, thank you for sharing it with me. Just a little hobby oddity.
Great story.
If you will.
Yeah, okay. You're right. It makes for a better story than if he would have just signed the 3 cards and sent them back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Graded with PSA under their double plastic promo. Ay. Yeah. Okay. Stewie Griffin. Yes. Absolutely. That is locked away in my house, never to go anywhere. I think there's 20 total, and I don't know. I don't know when we'll see another one pop up, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think there's like 10 at PSA, maybe 9 or 10 total, 1 at SGC. So I don't know.
Maybe if you hear on the news about Chris's demise, his wife might have one reach the market.
Yeah, it's a nice way of saying yes. If you hear about me dying, feel free to message my wife privately and try to buy that card.
Yeah, in case she's not the one that caused your death.
Well, even if she is, she'll still be selling the card, Jeff.
Well, might be why she caused the death.
That's an excellent point. Okay. All right. I think we need to take a few minutes and talk about, oh boy, where did I put it? Is it here? No. Here? Yes. Okay. I think we have to address this, don't we, Jeff?
I mean, Rafael Devers is one of our favorite players. He's been showing an enthusiasm for the game his whole career. He's just been out there playing. And this year, his that part of his reputation is taking a bit of a hit.
It is. Something happened today, Jeff, that I don't think it's ever happened before in my house. And I'm going to tell you what it is before I get some inappropriate guesses in the chat. I agreed with Harold Reynolds on the MLB Network. It didn't feel right, but wow. I did.
That's got to be a first. Harold Reynolds made a good point.
He did. So this is how he broke down, and I'll sort of summarize a little bit about the Devers situation. He said, all right, JD Cards, hold on to that thought for a minute. The Red Sox, he was 25? Lifetime came up. The Red Sox signed him at 16. It was kind of creepy the way they sort of scouted him in the Dominican. They signed him at like 16 in their farm system. Then they just gave him $300 million and said, you're our franchise guy. They didn't sign Betts. They didn't sign Bogarts. They signed Devers. They said, you're our franchise guy. We all know he's not a great defensive third baseman. Like they knew that then. We still know it now. They talked to Nolan Arenado in the offseason, right? Without saying a word to Devers. Then they signed Bregman. And reports from Boston were that they signed Bregman to play second base. Remember that?
For a huge amount of money.
Isn't it huge amount of money?
Annual value, $45 million or something.
So still, they're telling Devers, you're our third baseman. You're our guy. He shows up to spring training with Bregman, and suddenly they're like, nah, you know what? You're not going to play third base. Like, you're our DH. Put your glove away. Send it back to the Dominican. You don't need it. We don't want you playing defense anymore. And he's like blindsided by this.
And one thing, let me interrupt there, Chris, because Bregman's just not anybody that they signed and said could play second base. He's a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. So that raised some skepticism amongst fans when they said, well, we're going to put him at second base. It seems a little bit of a waste of his defensive talents, but that was the plan. And now, yes. So carry on.
Okay. So that was the plan. Devers shows up at spring training. Again, this is his team. They've told him it's his team, and they're like, hey, no more glove for you. You're just our DH. He didn't want to do that. Like, he was blindsided. He was very upset. He and Cora sat down. They talked it out. And finally, he was like, okay, I will do this. I will do this. What's best for the team. I'll do it. He didn't want to do it, but he agreed to do it. Now, like, the first baseman gets injured, and the GM, I guess, now tells him, hey, go get your glove. Like, now we want you to go play first base. So I feel like, actually, what the GM really said is, we're not going to move one of our top prospects, Jeff. We're not going to mess with 20-year-old Roman Anthony. He's not going to change positions. But you, Rafael Devers, the 28-year-old superstar we gave $300 million to, go get your glove now. You're going to learn on the fly a new position you have never played, and you're going to play at the major league level. I understand why he's mad. I do. Like, they jerked him around. They've jerked him around all year. But this is what I agree with Harold Reynolds. I agree. Harold Reynolds was saying the same thing, and I totally agree. And then he said the same thing that I actually just told my wife. I was like, same thing is going to happen. He and Cora are going to sit down. They're going to talk about it. There'll be a players-only meeting. And in a week or so, he'll start taking ground balls at first base, and he'll be out there by June 1st playing first base. I would bet a lot on it. It just, teams don't treat their players like this. They really don't. I know it seems like, from our point of view, he's getting paid $30 million a year. Do what the team tells you to do. But this is kind of unusual. This is extremely unusual. So I get why he's mad.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Jeff?
There's a lot to unpack there. I think the biggest problem that a lot of Red Sox fans have, and even baseball fans, and even Devers fans like myself, is just that this all's playing out in public, which once they signed Bregman, obviously there was some speculation in the public discourse about what was going to happen. And maybe the same thing could be said about this first baseman situation, but we talked about it like right when we knew Casas was out, that this would probably be a likely thing that would happen. But I still would rather not have it come out in public like this. I guess it's just, it does show his personality, and I wish it would have just, I don't know.
Listen, I would tell you 100%. I wish he had walked as the game was over, after Casas was carted off the field. I wish Devers had walked right into Cora's office and been like, I'll be an early, Skip. Let's start taking balls at first base. Like, I wish he had done that. That's what I would have done. And I think that's what a lot of people wanted him to do, but he didn't. But I do think eventually we're going to get there. But
yeah, and he didn't, but then just don't come out and say this. Don't come out and say anything. I mean, this is like, I think somebody in the comments alluded to it. It's a little bit about like Acuna calling out Snitker the other day. It's just like stuff that's probably unnecessary. And granted, the players are humans too. They have feelings, they have immediate reactions, but for the good of their teams, you would think that maybe some things could be handled internally.
Yeah, there was M. Parsons points out, I actually laughed at something Harold Reynolds said after this. So this was an early like a getaway day for the Red Sox. They played like an early day game and then they were leaving. And so on days like this, the media is everywhere. Like it's all over. There was no escaping this because I guess Breslow had said in public they weren't going to move Roman Anthony. So like that was already out there. And I guess a lot of people were just asking Devers about this. So obviously it was going to come out. Harold Reynolds was like, you can see these quotes from Devers. He's angry. And he's like, what I find funny is that he speaks with an interpreter. So he had time. You have time to sit there and decide what you want to say. And this is what he chose to say. He would really just call out the GM and go on the attack, which I mean, I laughed at that. I thought that was funny. Like this wasn't just like they caught him off guard. He got to more or less hear the question in 2 languages and then decide.
But yeah, what I would have loved about this situation, this is like a golden opportunity for Devers to make up any reputation blowback that came from his not wanting to play third base. He has nothing to lose. I mean, he could go out there and be absolutely terrible and he would get a pass. Everybody would say, well, he's just learning the position. That's fine. And if they say it's a failure, fine. Then they go and find, I don't know, somebody on the market who's not playing. But I feel like this was a no-brainer for him to just, I'll try it.
I will give you the opposite thought on that. He would get a pass from the fans for being bad, but he could also he could feel embarrassed. Like if he goes out there and it's bad. Remember the great line in Moneyball where Brad Pitt's trying to tell Scott Hatterberg, Chris Pratt, how easy it is, and Ron Washington is like, it's incredibly hard. It's hard. It's hard to learn a new position. And playing at the major league level, playing first base, it will not be easy. And I think part of it is he doesn't want to be embarrassed. And he probably already feels a little bit embarrassed that ownership yanked his position away. But I think this will work itself out.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there would be some embarrassment, but I agree with Dave. This is frustrating as a Devers collector. Hurts whatever hobby relevance he has, which isn't a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I did see Kevin Morales. Cheers, buddy. I've got my regular Maker's Mark here, by the way. Not a fancy Dodgers one yet. I don't think a trade to the Dodgers is a thing that I've seen quite a few times be like suggested, but that honestly, he now has not played third base all year. It seems really, and as bad as Muncy is, Jeff, and Muncy's really bad at third base. I feel like they couldn't just throw Devers in there and expect it to go well.
BFG says his third base defense was already embarrassing, which is true. And Curator makes a good point. Josh Smith and Jock Peterson are playing first base. I mean, the Brewers have trotted out some pretty awful first basemen over the last decade since Prince Fielder left. Guys like Chris Carter.
Yeah.
I know.
He does, but I feel like you have to just remember these are people. These are definitely people. And I do think he will come around. Yeah, I do think he'll come around, but I understand like he feels a little jerked around, and I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he may feel a little jerked around. Yeah, and I just don't think he's going to get a lot of empathy from people.
No, I don't think the Red Sox fans are going to want to hear his point of view.
Sorry, Shelly. 7. Sorry, I'm late. Did I miss you guys raving over V cards? No, there's plenty of V cards. Opinions out there on Spitball and Blabbin, so please see those.
But yeah, I just feel like once he has time in the locker room and like he and Duran and some of the pitchers and the guys who've been there for a little while, like they talk about it and Cora talks to him about it. Yeah, I think it'll work out. It's probably, I think they're going on the road, so it's probably for the best. They get out of Fenway for a little bit right now. But yeah, look, a 40 home run, 120 RBI season makes all this go away. That doesn't it, Jeff?
Yes, absolutely. And from the very beginning, one point I wanted to make too is when he was upset about not getting to play third base, I was of the mind that it's a lot to expect a player who likes to play defense, even if he's not good at it and considers that part of the game, to just then focus on hitting. And that was my concern with Ohtani too, when he first, when he had a DH for an entire season. I was wondering how that would be. He's not out there the full game. You just sit around and wait for your at bat, more or less. So I get that aspect of it. And I thought that was a little bit of what Devers was feeling, that he wanted to be out there. He was a ball player, he called himself. And So then I thought when this opportunity came, he would be happy to jump at it. I mean, they're not asking him to play center field or something. So I feel like
he did say that. I don't know if you saw, there's another quote where he's like, what's going to happen next? What if an outfielder gets hurt? Is Breslow going to come and tell me to go play the outfield? Like, there's some pretty like strongly worded quotes that he said today about the GM, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm Newbert here with a pretty interesting, a good comment here. I understand where he's coming from, but this is the team that traded for Kyle Schwarber specifically for him to play first without ever having done it. And guys, he was terrible at first base. He was really, really bad. Remember, he just caught a ball over there and like the crowd gave him like, I remember he caught a ball and like celebrated it. And the crowd like gave him kind of like a fake cheer, or like probably a real cheer after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little Bronx cheer for that. Yeah. And this is at least Devers has showed the ability to get in front of some ground balls before.
Yes.
The Kyle Schwarber.
Hold on. Some funny comments. I just want to Bazooka Tom. I chuckled at this. And yeah, Shelly the Turtle. I'm at, the Netflix missed this by a year, right? Oh my God. The stuff in the clubhouse already would have been just fantastic had they been following the Red Sox this year. Yeah. And hold on. I just want to say Forbidden Donut. This is, I also, and I think Jeff alluded to it. I like this guy. Like I've had him in fantasy for a long time. We have a lot of his cards. Like I generally like him as a player and as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little biased here. I completely agree. Had this been like someone I don't like, I might feel differently. But the front office, I really has disrespected him. But it is entirely on him to turn this around. Yes. And let's fingers crossed that he will man up, get a first baseman's glove, and learn this on the fly because it's better for the team.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knows that.
Very well said. And in the team's defense, he didn't handle this well, but in the team's defense, moving one of the young prospects over there probably doesn't make a lot of sense long-term for the team either. So I agree with that portion of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Would Devers be their long-term first baseman, or would they expect Casas back next year? Is he just plugging a hole temporarily? Like
I would say it's a temporary fix, but if he comes out and transitions to it like Bryce Harper, maybe they'll keep him there.
True. Although I hate to say this, but Bryce Harper appears to be a bit more athletic than Devers, who, by the way, stole his first base today.
He did.
And they showed it in slow motion, and my wife literally spat out what she was drinking because it wasn't a great it wasn't a great looking.
Except you should tell her that wasn't really slow motion. That was just how fast he was going.
Hey, he beat it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This won't be back until mid-season next year, so it's definitely
a year
through this year. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I think he said something about how the GM should look outside the organization.
Yeah, I just saw him saying that we should look outside the organization.
Yeah. BFG, yes, Cecil Fielder. If Cecil Fielder can do it, Devers can do it. Like that's. I feel like if we begin any sentence
that way too. Yeah.
If Cecil Fielder can do it, as long as we're not talking about like a pie eating contest, then we all should be able to do it.
Billy Buckner catching strays out here from Mookie Chilson.
True.
I mean,
really, yeah.
And he was decent at first base until he was 107 years old in the World Series when they put him there.
Yeah. Right.
Oh boy, this is a picture I didn't really want to, especially with those see-through uniforms.
Oof, yeah, those legs were churning, Jeff. That's all you got to know.
As a Sox fan, this is something we've been talking about for months, and then he signed that big deal. But yeah, we thought he might end up there, and now we could really use him.
Yeah, it was. One thing I think I said this to Jeff earlier as well, but like, I don't think he's tradable. I don't think they would even consider trading him because I feel like anyone they trade him to, Jeff, they'd have to be 100% sure that team was going to keep him.
So he doesn't end up in New York?
Because, yeah, exactly. Like, what team out there wouldn't trade for him right now just to flip him to the Yankees? Because if he's this mad at Boston, if he's this mad at ownership, you know the Yankees would love nothing more than to get him. And
yeah, plug him in there.
Yeah, put him at DH.
Let him make 40 errors at third base. Put him at DH wherever he wants.
He'll hit 75 home runs in that ballpark by the All-Star break. Yeah, so they have to be very careful if they do decide to move him.
Yeah, they definitely have to get a pinky promise from the GM that they trade him to that he'll be there long term.
Oh yeah.
And with a wink and a smile, he'll be gone by the end of that weekend, probably.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Real quick, there was some Acuna questions in here. Shelly responded. They haven't even put him on a rehab assignment. I'd assume the last weekend of May at the earliest. Is that what you're hearing, Chris?
Yeah, the positive update we got is that they don't I guess his surgeon is in LA, and LA is where he goes to get like his updates and his clearances to do the next step. So they did say that the workouts are now, he was free to zigzag and now play the outfield and drills and stuff. He's been playing some simulated games, simulated at bats. But yeah, the update we got was that he does not have to go back to LA before he does a rehab assignment. So yeah, I think we're looking at the end of May, and I will be in Atlanta on Friday, May 30th, when the Braves take on Mr. Devers' Red Sox. And if that's Acuna's first game back,
wow,
I will be in a very, very fragile emotional place. I'll put it that way.
You should scalp your tickets.
Hell no. But yeah, that would be
a front row.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, Shelly, he's not going to be in Pittsburgh this weekend. That's for sure. Okay. All right. I'm glad somebody mentioned this before I got the chance to. Yeah. I think Freddie Freeman would be second in majors in OPS if he qualified, which he will in a couple of days.
He's been killing it.
Absolutely killing it. Yeah. With one of the most awkward triples I've ever seen. How does he get that ball all the way to the wall in Miami? He was so off balance.
Yeah, the still shot of the swing, he's like bent over.
Right. All right, I'm going to put the trivia link in the comments. The winner will have a choice. Hold on, give me a sec here. Okay. HTTP. Bang.
Mookie says there's only one Acuna that matters right now. Is that Luis Angel? Luis Angel?
He's the only one playing. He's the only one playing, Jeff. So I think we have to assume that he has to matter slightly more, even if we don't want him to. Okay, where are we? All right. So yeah, your choice. I still have these two 1987 rack packs, and I realized I had a lot of booze in me last week, so I don't even know what I said. But I realized that the winner was Cal something, and I think he actually said in the comments, rip it and ship it, and I did not rip it or ship it.
I think he just even wanted you to rip it. So you didn't rip it, nor did you ship it.
I did nothing with it, so I still have it. So if he's here again, please let me know. I will send you one of these. But our winner today can choose between an unopened 87 Topps rack pack, or a couple of Fernando Tatis Jr. rookie cards. I got a Heritage and a Bowman Platinum. The guy is NL MVP frontrunner, maybe?
Yeah, right up there with Corbin Carroll, Ohtani, a couple Cubs, maybe.
Ohtani still, right?
SFL Sox fan is giving us a warning. The BABIP for Aaron Judge is down to 460. I believe his average is down to 400. So really starting to slide there. Here
comes the regression. Regression to the mean, Jeff.
Just crazy that his mean is still probably like a 430 BABIP.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Will Z Sports chiming in about how great Freeman is. And yeah, Jacob, Jeff and I put out that video about a week and a half ago about guys we were worried about. And Julio, of those five guys, it's been a dramatic change for some of them. Devers has gotten better, and now today. All right. Betts had a couple of pretty good games. Seems like maybe he's starting to figure it out. Jordan hurts his hand, for God's sake. Goes on the IL.
Yep.
Trout's career's done. And now we're now we got this Julio. Ay.
Blacksmith hasn't struck out in 7 games, so that's progress. He hasn't struck out since we put the video up.
That is interesting. I don't know.
Not much else, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Compared to, say, who, for example? And what are we expecting from Corbin Carroll? Great. These are the important questions, Jeff.
Yes. Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the Mariners are scoring runs. I didn't even realize how the Mariners were in first place by a pretty decent margin. So good for them.
That
Somehow
pitching
scoring
staff,
some runs.
yes.
Yeah, Corbin does look like he's a pretty good lock for 30-30 as of right now. That shoulder will always scare us, just like Tatis's shoulder will always scare us. Okay. Jeff, should we do a couple IG shout outs real quick, or was there another topic we were hit before that?
No, why don't we do the IG shout outs? We can talk a little bit about the PSA stuff after trivia.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because I'm excited about that PSA stuff. Yeah, Shelly, anytime you see a guy make a swing change and things take off, like Carroll looks like a different player. He really does.
And
Still
he
little.
is hitting the ball incredibly hard, especially for his size.
Yeah. Great ballpark, good lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did notice Suarez has calmed a bit. Despite that 4-homer game against the Braves, I don't think he has a ton of other production.
Nope. He packs all his production in a couple games.
Yeah, he does. So let's just hope you're not facing someone who's for some reason starting him in a fantasy league.
Yeah, I know Gilbert's been hurt, so maybe it's not the pitching staff. It's just right. Cal Raleigh and Dylan Moore.
And Jorge Polanco. Don't forget Jorge Polanco.
Yes.
All right, let's get into some cool IG posts that we saw this week. And the first belongs to our very own Blabbin, friend of the show, SFO Sox fan. Posted this, was earlier today even. If you guys haven't seen it, please take a look. It's a Topps Chrome Gold Mookie Betts Gold Refractor run. This is just really, really cool. That's a lot of gold.
Ooh. Look at all that gold.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Never underestimate the power of healing in your 20s. Dan Schweiger, I would tell you, healing in your 20s is great. Jeff and I are both in our 40s, and we don't heal so quick.
No, it takes a while.
Yeah, I want a Mookie Fractor. Yeah, SFO buddy, this is fantastic. Congratulations. I can't imagine a ton of people have this run complete like this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, just seeing it together. I mean, does he have 5 Dodgers cards now?
Yes. Yeah, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Realize until you see them all together there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Yeah, totally. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. There's some great images in here too. I love that jumping catch.
Yes.
In 2017. Like that just that's fantastic. The horizontal shot in 2019 is really cool. Just SFO, I'm with questions like how long did it take you to do this? How long have you been trying to do it? And that 2014, I think, is a criminally undervalued card. I know it's numbered to 250 instead of 50, but Mookie has so few rookies, Jeff. He's got 2 chrome parallels, a gold and a black, and that's it.
Yep.
So, man, needs a fielding Dodgers card. Yeah, I mean, an infield fielding as well. Yeah, that card to me feels like criminally underappreciated in the hobby. But he is underappreciated in the hobby.
SFO Sox fan, since I got back into the hobby in 2023, so about 2 years. That seems really quick. Great work.
Quick. Yeah, these don't pop up a lot. Yeah, SFO does not mess around.
Yeah, John. There's a lot of shine right there.
Blacksmith Breaks makes an excellent point here. How does he do this without showing it off and driving the prices up? Because that's something I feel like Jeff and I need to work on. So keeping your mouth shut about stuff you enjoy collecting is really hard to do. So kudos
wait
again
until you're done. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do.
He's got all the hard pieces, right? This is true. Yeah, no fielding images for the Dodgers. Maybe we'll get a horizontal shortstop shot for next year.
You could almost put those 5 cards like in a flip book. You could almost order them like in the as it would look like a swing.
I appreciate this, Wilsey. We do like to pump things up, but unfortunately, we pump it up before we buy it, so it's not helping us in any way in that aspect.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, if we couldn't artificially pump something. Neither one of us would let the other get away with it, even if we attempted it.
Although I think, anyway. Chris, I'm working on a Jeff Friends Topps Chrome set for next year.
Ooh.
So you may be seeing me on every YouTube channel out there.
On every gutless YouTube channel out there for sure. Kevin Morales, we totally agree with you. The top 3 of that lineup is special. And they're going to do special things, for the 4 years at least that they're going to be together.
When they stay healthy, if they are all healthy, it's really fun to watch. That's kind of like must see.
Oh yeah,
blab and grab. Exactly.
Yep.
Question here for you from Garrett, Chris.
I don't think so. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's a very low chance. I think 3,000 hits is extremely likely. Not a lot of guys have the 3,400 combination. I think
How many home runs does he have? I mean, where is he at now?
Just hit 350.
I mean, he's almost turning into more of a power hitter as he gets old. I could see him adding to that, but that's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, he's not racking up 30 plus home run seasons annually anymore. So he's in the 25-ish range. So yeah, I think he'll clear 400 easy, but I think 450 is absolutely the peak for him. But 450 and 3,000 with a 300 batting average is an incredible. Not a lot of people are in that club. Don't ask me who is.
Curator, I struggled wanting to post with each piece of a run. I had to stop as things were disappearing. Not like I have clout, but it seemed people would grasp the idea and jump on the chase. Yeah, I mean, Cards IG is a place where people get ideas for sure. So even if somebody's not trying to block you necessarily, they just might like the idea of a run you put together, of a specific player run or a set. So, it definitely is something to consider.
Yeah. John. Yeah, this ninth inning is looking pretty gross. Iglesias has looked very, very pedestrian this year, which is not great because their bullpen was already in big trouble. And yeah, Blacksmith breaks. I'll tell you, Freeman is going to retire with higher counting stats than Trout in everything but WAR and steals. Yeah. WAR and steals. Everything else, there's no way Trout catches him. No way. And MVP awards, Jeff.
Yes. Yeah. Can't catch those. It's something you would have guessed that, say, even 5 years ago.
That's funny.
Hey, BFG is putting the blame on us for the where did it go? Oh, the Bo SSP. Are we going to talk about that?
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that. I mean, well, let's just finish. Let's do some IG cards, then we'll get to some eBay.
We'll get back to that Bo Jackson SSP that you saw.
Yeah, that was nuts. We talked about it, I think, last week, and I think I said like 450 maybe. Not even close, Jeff.
I thought that was a lot too.
Yeah. Hold on. What was I? Yeah, Tanner Klein pointing out that this is Iglesias' bobblehead night, and he gave up a 2-run home run to the 9-hitter of the Cincinnati Reds.
Who's that?
Reese Hines, which is a name I definitely knew before 3 days ago.
I have not heard of him lately.
No. He came up last year and had like a really hot run for like a week, and no one has said his name since then. Oof, John Kimbrell to save the day. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, at this point, they may as well bring him up because they need help. Okay. All right, hold on. He's investing in Shelly the Turtle. I'm not even going to click on that. Okay. Let me just put the trivia link in there one more time. I'll pull up the next card, Jeff. You can get us started. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Our good buddy Cardboard Showcase made a monumental purchase that I feel like we should congratulate him on.
Yes, congratulations. Grail obtained for Cardboard Showcase. Love this card. We talked a little bit about Heritage recently because Heritage has started to go to some chrome autos. And I made the comment, I just love how the paper autos look on these Heritage, especially the red inks. Color match we've got for them is just an all-around really cool card. So congratulations, Mike. I think he has the pop in there. I can't quite read it, Chris. What does it say? 23? God, at the very bottom.
If you can't read it, you think I can read it?
Well, you've got on a bigger screen.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, pop 23 and a BGS 9.5.
I mean, and the centering looks really nice on that. Some of the cards from that year are way off top to bottom and left to right. That centering looks nice. It just, what a great card.
Oh, yeah. So the Rabbit, with more Freeman talk. So, Jeff, I'm going to highlight it. The Rabbit at 100% Braves as of right now. As of the Dodger contract. It'll be like 11 years with the Braves and 6 with the Dodgers. So, oh, my God. Albies took a walk. Oh, boy. I think, yeah, we're all in big trouble here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cardboard Showcase is with us, but you're getting a lot of positive feedback.
Right, and rightly so, and rightly so. But yeah, the Freeman's going in as a Brave. I don't think there's any doubt about that. My guess is still that when this contract, he's got 3 years after this one with the Dodgers. My guess is he goes back, but maybe he doesn't. I don't, actually, I'm sorry, 2 years after this one. I'm guessing he goes back to Atlanta, but maybe he doesn't. We'll see.
Yeah, this is a great card. I can see why it's a centerpiece of a collection.
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me throw this one up here. Forbidden Donut. If anyone has opened Stadium Club recently and they have box toppers they don't want, he's doing an office project with box toppers. Buddy, I need to know more about this. Please message me some info on this. I want to know what you're doing. If it's a wall, if it's a table.
Yeah, and define good condition, because I know we might have a couple around here in a box, but the corners might have gotten a little dinged. So if not, I'm happy to send them your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, Sean Murphy with a hit. All right, yeah, keep us updated on that. Yeah. By the way, the Braves recycling these guys, Jeff, is breaking my brain. We don't need Eddie Rosario back on the roster. We do not. Like, he does not need to be here. Now? He's the Braves' like 24th guy. Doesn't need to be there. Not helping anybody. But anyway, Jacob Fain. I mean, BGS did have they had their heyday, but they have let it all go to hell. And yeah, I mean, but what's interesting about BGS, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong here. So many great cards are in those slabs.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, we even have some in the slab, maybe not great cards, but it's almost getting to that point where you want to just send them over to another company. You want to send them to PSA, even if it might go from a 9.5 to a 9. Even the 9.5 doesn't have the same cachet it did. I wish somebody would buy out BGS and just get them back into this century, get the website updated, better customer service, some sort of registry going. They're just getting left in the dust by every other grading company. And it's really, really sad, especially cards from like 2011 through 2017 or 2018. There's a lot of huge cards in their cases.
Yep. All the Trouts, the Judges, the Freemans, even a lot of the 16s, the Guerreros, the Sotos, they're all in BGS.
Yeah,
almost all in BGS.
Bowman First was a huge BGS.
Curator at Cardboard. Oh, shoot. I just lost it. Let me find it. All right. Forbidden Donut. I will check those out. Thank you. Curator Cardboard says he has the entire 2022 run of box toppers and corresponding parallels. That's awesome.
What?
I love an oversized card, as you can see behind me here.
Yes.
Right hand.
Love a big card.
All right, Jeff, question?
Apparently, there's some important news. The Braves tied up. Tie game. Well,
sorry. My computer, as you know, Jeff, my computer can only handle so much internet.
Right.
Right,
Dr. Doja, I don't think this is going to happen about Fanatics buying BGS. They did recently sell. Now it's not that recent, but a few months ago to another investment company. Oh, M. Parsons throwing some shade on whichever outfielder is trying to make a play here.
28 relics, yes. And that's the thing, too. 2018, most of those Otanis are in BGS slabs. And the ones that are in PSA, we saw on that Fanatics auction, the premium was insane. Yeah. It was almost a 2X, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Chasing Major, it'd be great to have you in charge. 1 year ought to do it. Clean house.
Yeah, but your own website would probably suffer a little bit.
Yeah, you would have to bring somebody else on for that.
All right, Jeff. Bucks Collector had a question for you. While I grab the next card.
Hey, Bucks. I did see that. I don't know. I was almost kind of tempted by this, Chris. I saw somebody posted on Facebook his orange non-auto that they pulled, but they wanted $1,500, and I just can't do it. But I'm still keeping my eye on them. Maybe I'll pick up an auto. I just have really tried to get away from that prospecting. But, man, he looks great.
Cool name, too, right?
Yes. Jesus Made, Jesus Made. M. Parsons apparently was making fun of Wisconsin native Gavin Lux's arm out there in the outfield. He's not. He's a second baseman by trade, so I'm not surprised.
And he had a hard time throwing to second base last year, if I remember correctly, Jeff. Oh, it's getting a little hot out here.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I get this Floyd fan. Yeah, he plays much older than his 17 years old. Yeah, kudos to his mom.
Right. All right. A couple more cards, and then okay. So this Nines Are Fine has been posting some pretty incredible 10s of late, and this is definitely one of them. Ooh, we got 23 people in there. Nice. Let me throw this up there. 2020 Topps Chrome has some really cool images. I like this Acuna card a lot. I like the way they framed his hand kind of in that little nook on the side of the design there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're
right. Yeah, Jacob Payne. Anytime there's a Yankee prospect, though, I feel like people need to be careful. The hype machine will be strong. What did the Dominguez Superfractor sell for, Jeff? Wasn't it like $500,000, something like that?
Just about $500,000.
Yeah, I don't think that was money well spent. But anyway, hold on. Yeah, and so Nines Are Fine. This 2020 year is awesome, and there's a lot of red on these. That's just very, very cool. He also has that 2019 kneeling Acuna variation in a red. Whew. I love me some Acuna red, Jeff. I just don't own any.
You have none right now.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay. All right. Enough. Let's talk about a guy that Jeff and I like who is hurt and just makes us really angry. I know it's not SSP Thursday, Jeff, but oh shoot. Is it L? No. Hold on. My eyes. LJM Cards posted this combo. Yordan Alvarez's opening day rookie SSP and the sticker auto. It's nice to see these two cards together.
So now, are we going to get another 140 game season out of Yordan at best?
At this point, 140 feels like a best case scenario, Jeff. And since he's already spent 25 of it hitting like dog shit, that means the other 125 or other 115, he's got to really blow up. Pardon my language.
It's so sad. This continues our nice run of what is that? 2020 rookie cups in random places. Looks
yes,
a little crowded up there. They've got a lot of corners filled with the opening day. On the non-auto, it looked great down in the bottom corner. But yeah, it's just kind of hanging there.
They've got like opening day, bottom right, tops, top left, and then the RC and the shield, and the RC and the cup on the top left. Like it's every corner. You're right. It's completely full.
Yeah.
All right. Corey Merriman has something really interesting to say here. I wanted to get to. Yeah, there are 2018 update has oversized cards, and he grabbed the Soto Gatorade oversize in a PSA 9. I tell you what, I'd be tempted to do, Corey. I'd crack that bad boy out of there. The first like signing that Juan Soto had, and get a nice big bold like silver marker signing on that thing. You know, there could never be more than 49 of that. It would just always look really cool.
Yeah, I love those oversized cards, but I do have to say that it's caused a lot of confusion for people looking for specific cards, like people looking for Soto Gatorade Bath on more than one occasion. They've bought those cards and realized that it's the big one rather than the small one. So be very careful when you're searching, but they are cool. And like Chris said, they're prime for autos.
Oh, yeah. There's a Steve Clifton comment in there, Jeff. Did you star that one so we don't miss it?
Yes.
Okay.
I did. I didn't want to interrupt you if you were on a train of thought.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, throw that one up there. Hold on. I just want to see what happened here. I'm getting told we're going to the 10th, which means, of course. The Braves have to lead all of baseball. Runners at third, less than 2 outs with a strikeout. They have to lead the baseball in percentage of guys that strike out in that spot. Like, we can't even just like safety squeeze to win the game.
Yeah, a lot of Dan Ugla. Best Astros player right now.
It's a pitcher, right?
Framber?
No, oh my God. Jeez, how much Maker's Mark have I had? Hunter Brown. Gotta be the best player. Gotta be the best player right now.
Oh boy, that's sad. That's what SFO Sox fan says.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So hold on. We lost this comment. What did we say to Steve Clifton? I would say raw is okay. Like if they're true SSPs, they're rare enough.
Yeah. And in fact, I was going to say, Chris, that a lot of times we have to buy them raw. Sometimes we find them that's the only way we can find them, and they might not be in great condition. And especially, you guys know that we're going through for those 2012 through 2014 Topps Chrome SSP sets, and sometimes raw comes up. It's pretty rough shape, might get a 6 or 7, but that's what you go with. So graded is nice because you know what you're going to get, but a lot of times SSPs, you got to take what you can get. So raw,
take what you can get. And a lot of times when they're graded, Jeff, they're right into PCs. Like the graded stuff comes up so rarely. And if it does, it's usually going for a crazy price. So yeah, we're fine with buying raw. Even if the condition, like Jeff said, isn't great. The truly rare stuff, the condition is not as important.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Free baseball yet again. What do we think, Jeff? Who's your pick for AL Rookie of the Year right now? Curator Cardboard's asking. A lot of Hunter Brown.
I still think Campbell's going to hold up over the long term. I love watching Wilson hit because he just swings. He's like Churio in that aspect. He doesn't like to walk, so he's always up there swinging. I kind of feel like eventually that'll catch up to him a little bit, so he won't be able to keep that high average. But I like watching both those guys. So,
yeah. Yeah, Douglas Campbell is obviously on Team Campbell on that regard, for sure. We got to go with our namesakes anytime we can, right?
Well, no, Chris, to answer your question, when you've had too much Maker's Mark, when you start pumping V-Friends cards, then we'll have to cut to commercial.
There isn't enough Maker's Mark in the world. There isn't enough bourbon in Kentucky. No, there's no way. I'll pass out before that happens. He did homer in AAA, Jeff.
I think
immediately.
Oh man, that's my Keston kryptonite. He'd get to AAA and start blowing it up.
Yeah. So speaking of Kentucky and bourbon, P. Craig 75, excellent Freeman collection on Instagram, by the way. Says he can't watch they're blacked out in Kentucky. Is that because it's too close to Cincinnati, or is it too close to Atlanta?
Yeah, probably the Cincinnati route.
Yeah, my Midwest geography isn't
pretty far
ideal.
South in Ohio there.
Ay. That's brutal.
Courageous Cougar is a buy. Nunzi said he sent you a pic on IG of a cool Pujols SSP pulled a while back. We know there's a lot of cool ones, so keep your eye out for that, Chris.
Yeah, I will take a look. It's funny how only in the baseball card world, Jeff, could that sentence be completely acceptable when spoken.
If you're listening, if you're listening only.
Right. Oh yeah, the pitching one. Yeah. Hold on. Let me grab it.
Was it the pitching one?
Yeah.
Speculating that it might be the pitching one.
Yeah, here, I'll throw it up. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
Yes, it's one of my favorites. Someday I'd like to have that. So Nunzi, if you're going to ever part with that one, and just the position players pitching gets me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of funny, Jeff. Sometimes our show becomes, instead of it's like reverse shopping network. Like instead of us like pumping things and selling them, people come on and be like, "Hey, I have a card you might like," and we end up like buying things from the people who are watching.
Right. Where it's like we're supposed to be not spending money, and then we find out we do.
Oh man, and thank you guys for watching Spitball, and I really appreciate it. I got a lot of funny messages from people who noticed my eye roll. I did not even want to bring it up because I felt like just us talking about it would like lend it credibility, but I was very happy that all four of us kind of crapped all over it. So I think
it was important to talk about because it is such a big thing in the hobby, and the idea of non-sports cards taking over the hobby, which I think is great in a lot of aspects. I think that's great to expand the market. It's worth a conversation.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming out. Like when Fanatics released that list of celebrities that they had gotten like signings with, like there's a Deadpool card set coming out. Like I'm interested in that. Some of those Marvel names did sound exciting. I don't know what they're doing with Tom Hanks. I don't know what
that's
means.
Part of the that's like they're doing some Pixar stuff. So I think it's like Toy Story autos with Tom Hanks. And yeah, they're getting a lot of celebrity autos. Topps Chrome SpongeBob. Everybody's really pumped about that. I was never a big SpongeBob fan, but I completely get it. So I'm excited for the people that are.
Yeah, 28 relics, 100%. Absolutely. Once I need some Moana cards, Jeff. That's where I start to. That's when my attention will really peak, if you will, or perk up.
And Moana 2.
Moana 1 we're good there. We're good with Moana 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
This would be great. Baseball card, Brett. Castaway movie, top series like the old school Batman movies. Remember the Batman cards?
I do remember the Batman cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still trying. I'm always on the lookout, Jeff, for a box of Simpsons cards from like the early 1990s.
Yeah.
There's usually a couple floating around eBay that are sealed for some stupid amount of money.
And you'd want to open them, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I want to open them. Yeah. There was one on eBay that was in like one of those BBCE like wrappings. And I'm like, what is happening here? What are we doing? Doesn't that just mean it's full of G.I. Joe cards anyway, Jeff?
Probably. Yeah. Authenticated by BBCE to contain only G.I. Joe cards.
Okay. The next card I want to talk about, if you watch us on Spitballin', I think on this show too, I've talked about this Topps Tribute set, Jeff, and how some of the autos in there
I tell you,
incredible.
What they've done with Tribute this year is incredible. If you didn't see that, what we talked about on Spitball, and check it out, because the big moments like the Bartolo Colon you showed too.
Oh yeah, with the Gary Cohen call, Bartolo has done it. I can still hear that. I'm not a Mets fan, but I can still hear it. All right, this is a dual auto out of Topps Tribute, and from what I've looked at a lot of cards, if you can believe that. This is like the first time I think we've gotten regular inserts where Topps is using one image with two players on it and they both sign it.
Love
Griffey
it.
and his dad. This is awesome.
Big, bold signatures, awesome picture. And it's not just limited to teammates or family in this case. They had a Will Clark, Mark McGuire one that you showed.
Yes.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, this is awesome. I think I really want a copy of this card, but I can see the prices are already just going to go bananas. Most of them look like they're numbered at a 25, but I believe, if I'm seeing correctly, this Griffey starts at a 15. So that means there's going to be even less of these. This is going to be a real tough card to pick up. This belongs to Air Jordan 36. Yeah, the calling your shots, Jacob Payne. If you guys are unfamiliar with that, please just hop on eBay for a minute and Google or look up 2025 Topps Tribute calling their shots. There's some amazing moments captured with autos, and in the back of the card is the announcer autoing or auto.
Yeah, right. So it's a big moment in history, and and then the person that called it, which is great. It's a great idea. They have a lot of great ideas. I think what did Phil say was the price? The boxes are still pretty expensive.
They're over $500 currently. Yeah.
So I don't know if you could get your money's worth out of a box, but some of these singles I sure would like to look at.
Absolutely. Hold on real quick. There was a comment that I wanted to Ryan.
The Padres could still trade Shields for Tatis after that Bartolo home run. That should have been a clue, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah. James Shields definitely has two real claims to fame. And not great ones either. Ryan mentioned that he loves that Pujols card, but he hates when they reuse the image. And yeah, it's in Stadium Club Chrome, I think, as his base card. And that's just, it's just such a bummer.
Mango makes a great point. And that's what this reminded me of too. It's like the Griffey Mantle upper deck card from back in the day. Very similar. You got 2 stars. That was more of like an artistic rendering, right? Because obviously you couldn't get Griffey and Mantle in the same picture. But yeah, same idea of two people signing on the same card. Love it.
Yeah, very, very, very cool. That's like one of the most iconic, 1990s cards that exists. Chris C says Shields was also traded for Jordan. That was Josh Fields. That is his claim to fame. Dodgers farmhand traded, or I guess Astros farmhand traded to the Dodgers for Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah, he had a huge upside.
MC Hobby Shop says, any advice on this beat the streak? I can't tell you. I don't think I've ever gotten to 10 playing that.
You pick a batter a day to get a hit.
Yep. If you can do it like 50, whatever, you beat the Maggio streak, you get a couple $1,000,000.
Wow. Can you pick the same player? Like, can you just keep picking Luis Ariz?
I think you can.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've never, if you can imagine, Jeff, I am not good at that. Like Freddie Freeman in Colorado against like a soft tossing right-handed position player, 0 for 6. Like,
perfect. Yeah. It does remind me of the home run challenge cards. There's a lot of people that were disappointed that left. I wonder if they'll bring it back after some response, because it's not a big deal for them.
No, and we have all those other they want like interaction stuff, right? Like they
Yeah.
want like the Bowman Red redemption. Like they want stuff on the field to matter for cards, but they took away like the easiest one, which again I was like 0 for 11 at, by the way. So that's a shame. Hopefully they bring those back. I know some people love doing that. I talked to a lot of people. I think you and a bunch of people we play softball with love those cards and like just doing them with their kids. Like picking dates and then watching the game
on the calendar, pick a date, look who they're playing. Yeah, my son likes to pick when they're in Colorado. Like, not a bad idea.
I mean, yeah, very smart, very smart.
Not funny gives us a report. 11.25 for that Griffey on eBay.
Man,
a lot of money.
Just I don't even know. Like, how do you even know what to bid on that? There's no comp for something like this.
There's only 15 of them. You're not going to see a lot of them.
No. I think there might be like there's red parallels for some. So maybe there's 20 total, but yeah, you're right. You're not going to see very many. How bad do you want it? Like, I don't know. I'm not pumping this. It's not our card. That's not our card.
Curator has an idea for spitballing the Patreon. Ooh. Yes. So we do have a Patreon for spitballing where we put up extra content weekly and have a live chat on there. So if you want to actually get to talk to some people who know about cards, unlike me and Chris, and talk to Filmington, Teapot, check out our Patreon. We'll put a link down below. This is a great idea. Google Doc with people's chases or runs so the collective can help the search. We're on the way to maybe doing some sort of Discord and affiliated with the Patreon link. And that would be a very good topic to have for people to help out. So
that's an awesome idea. That's a fan. I would love, we could do that for Blabbin too. I just don't know where we'd put it. We'd have to get a website. And Jeff and I, we don't have that kind of
that's
wizardry.
A little above our
we have
pay
to wait until Jeff's son is like 16 or 17, and then he'll just start running a website for us when he gets a little bit older.
Yeah, but great idea, Curator.
Yeah,
so
that's
thank
a fantastic idea. When we eventually do something like that, we'll try to remember to give you credit for it and not just claim all the credit ourselves.
Yes. Yes, a Discord. We're learning all about Discords, and there have been some people who have been willing to help us moderate it. So it's just it's trying to find all the time to get something set up, but hopefully we will do that.
Yeah, I am. So the Braves had a runner at third and one out. I can't imagine they got that run in. I'm sure they screwed it up somehow. I really feel like major league teams with runners starting at second base, there has got to be more bunting drills. It just seems like at this point, at the bottom of the 10th inning with a runner at third and a former Red, like just why are we not just suicide squeezing here? I could do it in Little League. How can these guys not do it? Come on. They did not. Oh, there we go.
Eloy, I tried to sign up for Patreon, but couldn't find the link. I don't know why that should be a problem. Sorry about that. I promise we will put a link down below in the description. Otherwise, hit me or Chris up on Instagram because we got to get you on there. We have some really good videos on there, so please follow up with us.
Ooh, that might be a Filmington shot fired, Jeff. We should look and see if the link is in the last video, the last spitballing video that we posted. I can't imagine he forgot to put it in there, but we can always add it in if we need to.
All right, we'll hold Filmington's feet to the fire, but we'll try to remember to put it in all our videos in case you guys want to find your way over there. So appreciate those who are supporting us that way.
All right, Forbidden Donut has a question. If Chasing Majors is still here, he can tell us in 2 seconds, but I will look this up real quick. He should be on that checklist, Jeff, right?
He should be. I mean, he's pro camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, he made the opening day roster. He should be there.
He does not.
Well, there you go. Wow, that's a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, let's blame Raptor. Here's a shot at Chris. That link will happen like the rip and ship will happen.
Oh, damn. All right.
A Series 2 guy. Okay, so Campbell is a prospect in there. So it's too soon, too quick for him, his call up.
Yeah, I was just looking to see. Yeah, so I guess he doesn't have a red logo. That's such a great idea, but not executed.
No, the fact that all the major players do not qualify. Like James Wood has it, but he cannot be Rookie of the Year, even though he probably would be the absolute leading contender for Rookie of the Year.
Right. Yeah, but he can't win it. So it's weird that they gave him a card, right?
Yeah.
Why include him? Why include him on that?
Right, because they knew after last year that he would not qualify for it.
Yeah, well, it's just a strange. Then they have to put these asterisks in there that say, "Well, this guy."
Yeah,
and then it's the thing. Yeah, I mean, Teapot really nailed this. Like, It just makes no sense. Like if they have to win Rookie of the Year to be eligible for any of the other redemptions, like that's just nuts.
Once we informed Teapot of that, Teapot was going off the basis that you could always win. So his Tarek Skubal idea, he thought that he could just rack up a couple Cy Youngs and then sell him. But if he doesn't have a Rookie of the Year behind him, he's not going to do it.
Right. Well, I mean, Tarek Skubal he was very confused because Skubal isn't a red logo rookie on this set anyway. But yeah,
he was an if man. But yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, poor Teapot was like, you're right. I had that backwards. Yeah, he was all tied up in knots, wasn't he?
Shelly's applying for his job at Tops and Fanatics here. So very well said, Shelly. That'll be noted for the authorities.
Mango Bango asks how rare they are. They are not rare. They apparently are fairly easy to pull from what we have seen. There are already quite a few of almost every player on eBay.
Yeah, this was the first question I had for Ty after he went to the conference, and that was yet another detail they did not tell them at the conference. They just said they weren't going to be rare. Does that mean 1 in 4 packs, 1 in 12 packs? We don't really know until we see them.
Right, and the word rare is kind of subjective, right? Like, how do we determine who's determining who's rare?
Chasing Majors, this is not correct.
That is incorrect.
This is incorrect. He has to win Rookie of the Year. Anybody to get future prizes, they have to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and we confirm that. That's currently how it is set up. The language is confusing, but that is so. Only one of these 30 players, at most, will have a chance to win you more money down the road. So cool idea, but man.
All right, Future Baseball Star says 1 per hobby, 2 per jumbo. JE is confirming it. 2 red rookies in his jumbo box. I think there's some confusion even on the Fanatics end, and that's part of the problem, that they didn't do a very good job at the industry conference. But I would recheck in with him because that's that was reposted by Tops that's necessary.
Ugh. So oddly enough, Albies didn't get that run in. That's a shame.
That's a shock.
Yeah, no, Ryan, you're 100% right. That was it was muddled. It was very unclear. And that just seems crazy. Like you would think you would want, if you're Fanatics, you want more of those cards to carry more value down the road.
Yes, because they want some future value. But I mean, I guess they don't care. They're going to only get the money when it gets sent out. Their first ones are sold. Jay says 8 are eligible.
But you would think the more cards that could have Fanatics, like value of Fanatics cash, that's more people using it.
Exactly. I had no problem with them giving Fanatics cash away. That's a great idea. Great. You can buy more cards, but it doesn't cost them anything. It costs them whatever their margins are, which
which are probably So yes. Bazooka Tom 100%. Yeah, and I think there's a chance they can make a change. I wouldn't be surprised, Jeff, if they announced, like, you know what, we listen to the fans, because we know if there's one thing we do know, Tops will listen.
They will listen.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility that they make a change, and they say that all these guys will be eligible for all of the redemptions down the road. I think that would be great.
It just creates a lot more interest. And when I first heard the idea and didn't know all the details, I thought, it reminded me of the buyback program, which was a huge success, and it just offers some extra utility to the cards. And yes, some people can just appreciate the cards for how they look and the images, but at some point, having an extra utility there, it doesn't hurt, and it keeps up the future value of those cards.
100%. Well said. I can't help but laugh in one of our 28 relics. I like looking at it. I can't stop.
It's a great card.
In our spitballing video where we talked about this, Jeff and I kept quiet, but Phil and Teapot just kept talking about how they love the MVP buyback program because of how simple it is and how easy it is for people to follow the rules and cash out their cards and how easy it was. Jeff and I screwed it up this year.
We did. We had a Judge Refractor that we pulled, and we're very excited because that paid for a quarter of the box, and we didn't do anything with it.
We missed the deadline. I think we walked it into Burbank 2 days after the deadline, like just a couple of kids that didn't know what they were doing. So we definitely kept our
Mods. I'd say it's the latter. I don't think they wanted to cause confusion. I think they just got a little confused themselves and overthought it. Sorry. I just Joseph, if the player doesn't win Rookie of the Year, he's pretty much done as far as value. Yes. The only value, as Teapot pointed out, is that it's a slightly rarer rookie card. It's
correct.
A slightly more short printed rookie card.
Yeah. It just seems, I mean, there's so many like just silly things. Like it just seems like, why do they bother
Right. It's so much effort in explaining, and they spent so much time at the industry conference, and it doesn't really matter. I'd love to see this as well. And I know part of the reason they didn't want to do it is because it directly benefits the LCSs rather than Fanatics. But throw Fanatics cash in then. Have a Cy Young and Rookie of the Year buybacks be $25 in Fanatics cash, and you can go buy a hanger or something on their website.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Oh, Shelly the Turtle says Matt Olson just made one of the best plays I've seen in a while. Defense. While he may be struggling with the bat, his glove has always played. Even M. Parsons seems to agree that Matt Olson did something good, and that means it must be a tremendous play to warrant a positive response.
Junior, this is right. Like the taco fractors, only one will be worth something.
Ryan with this summarizes it nicely. We should have known it was too complex when they had to make a video for it, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh wow, Matt Olson's field snuck.
Ooh, he's sneaking?
Yeah, snuck up, fielded a bunt. Wow.
Oh, so they knew he was going to bunt, like Chris was suggesting, bunt him over.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I like the suicide bunt. To me, that feels like, All right, well, I can't wait to watch that. Maybe I'll watch it while Jeff is reading the trivia questions, which, by the way,
let's get to
trivia.
Put the
link in there. Let's see. What do we got? All right. We're a little bit under our normal trivia amounts. I will throw the link in there one more time.
Hop in there for trivia.
Yeah.
It's fun. It doesn't cost you anything.
Nope.
A little rise in your blood pressure. Plus, you might get to win a pack of 87 tops.
That's right. Or a couple Tatis rookies. We also should do a beat my wife at trivia contest. Like if you finish above my wife, I feel like you deserve something. Or maybe if you finish below her, you get some verbal abuse. Either way, I think we can.
I'm glad you kept on. Once you said beat my wife contest. All right.
I've been lobbying for that type of promotion for a long time, Jeff.
You'll be interested in this, Chris.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I did want to say, so the first 5 questions of trivia this week will be the same as the first 2 or 3 last week. So you're going to see 4 names. You select the one of the 4 that did win an MVP award. Okay. You don't have to. Jeff will read off all the names and everything, but you can be quick. Look for the one guy that did win an MVP. Okay.
Yes, M. Parsons is the Mendoza line. You got to try to beat it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. This is what I'm worried about. Sports card influencers encourage domestic violence.
Yeah, I'm seeing some people. I have a bit of a phrasing issue for sure. She's the pace car, we'll call it. Oh, she's taking on all challengers, she says. Wow. We're not talking about pull-ups. We're talking about trivia performance. Okay. All right, let me grab. Oh, all right. The Reds didn't score in the top of the 11th, so that's good. This is good timing for me, Jeff, because I can just go watch the bottom of the 11th while you're reading off these trivia questions.
All right, 28 relics. Try to get an NBA sticker on that.
I was just going to say, does she better have a gold sticker on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. It was edgy. It's a joke. We're adults. Yeah, I think we can all handle that. Where are we? What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Okay. All right. We got a pretty good turnout right here. Jeff, I'm going to start the trivia countdown, which is perfectly timed because cocktails are going right to my bladder.
Yeah. More of that makers.
All right. Is your voice ready? You warmed up?
Ready.
Oh, wow. All right. Agent Basement is ready to go. All right. Here we go. Countdown begins.
All right. Flex those fingers and get ready to pick the correct letter.
Woo. Here we go.
That's right. It's my rebel phase. Which of the following players did win an MVP? Fred McGriff, Chipper Jones, David Justice, or Javi Lopez? All great players. Only one won an MVP. Who was it?
And he did it in a year where he wasn't even an all-star, Jeff. Baseball is weird.
Baseball is weird. 34 people got it correct. Okay. 59%. Chipper Jones.
Yep.
Queen cards 5 out to the early lead. 88. That's about as high as you can get. Great reflexes.
Quick fingers.
Which of the following players did win an MVP? Giancarlo Stanton, Adam Dunn, Manny Ramirez, or Gary Sheffield? Some good players on there. Some big hitters. Only one.
I suppose someone could question. I think he was still going by Mike when Giancarlo Stanton won his MVP award. So I might get some pushback on this one, but the correct answer is
if anybody did not choose Giancarlo because he was Mike when he won it, follow up with customer service. That's M. Parsons. Yep. Clean Cards 5, still in the lead, Floyd fan. Which of the following players did win an MVP? Was it Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Frank Thomas, or Brady Anderson, who once hit 50 home runs? All right. This is a tough one. This guy actually won 2, Chris.
Back to back.
Yeah. One of my favorite players, had his poster on my wall. 35 of you got Frank Thomas correct, and he recently took a picture with Teapot. Clean Cards 5 and Floyd fan and Brute. Top 3. Which of the following players won an MVP? Was it Greg Maddux, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, or Clayton Kershaw? All tremendous pitchers, all Cy Young Award winners, but not a lot of pitchers win the MVP unless you're Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah, Pedro got robbed in 2000, but
totally. Absolutely. This one's spread out pretty well. Clayton Kershaw is the correct answer. Oh, I didn't even notice. Clean Cards got a 90 on the second question. It's really fast. And Shelly says it was Giancarlo by then. Which of the following players did win an MVP? Is that Tatis Jr., Guerrero Jr., Acuna Jr., or Soto not Jr.? Which one of the offspring?
I couldn't think of another good junior, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right, 72%, guys. I needed that one to be in the 90s.
Yeah, Tatis, he might win one this year. We'll see.
He might.
Clean Cards starting to pull away. All right. Baseball card Brett. Bustin or Posey. This Pete Alonso toy horse image variation is from what 2022 set? Topps Opening Day, Stadium Club, and Topps Chrome. Rare to get a polar bear and a toy horse on the same card, but you did it in 2022 with somebody. 32 people, 57% went with Stadium Club. I did not recognize this image. I guessed Stadium Club when Chris told me. Baseball card Brett takes the lead. So maybe
soars into first place, Jeff.
Did not know that, like me. This Bobby Witt Jr. rookie auto is from what 2022 set? Topps Chrome Sapphire, Topps Chrome Dingleberry, or Topps Chrome Gilded?
I really do think the Dingleberry set, Jeff, is right around the corner.
It's coming. Yeah. Right after Cosmic. 46 people went with Topps Chrome Gilded. Maybe the sepia tone or the border clued people in. Well done. Baseball card Brett, Thorson Collectibles, and Bustin or Posey. Top 3, Clean Cards 5 right behind. Which hot-hitting Chicago Cubs 2024 Topps Golden Mirror SSP is this? Is it Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, Carson Kelly, or Seiya Suzuki? I like this card, Chris.
I like this card too. It's weird that the only time Topps did the white borders for some reason, but I like this one. We might have to pick up one of these.
45 people said Pete Crow Armstrong, who my friend is trying to say is the offspring of Lance Armstrong and Sheryl Crow.
Well, I like it. I like the idea.
Not true, though. Current player rankings is Brett in first, Clean Cards 5. Who is the career leader in Grand Slams? This is from Huey's trivia book. Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Lou Gehrig, or Travis Hafner? Pronk.
Yeah, I was going to say bonus points if you remember Hafner's nickname, which is just fantastic.
Great nickname.
Yeah.
Great nickname. This is a tough one. For a long time, it was one player, and then it was broken by Mr. Alex Rodriguez, beating Lou Gehrig. So congratulations to 27% of you. Very well done. Baseball card Brett, almost in the 700 club already. Clean Cards 5, Bustin or Posey. 1990 Leaf was the first high-end product from which card producer? Topps, Fleer, Donruss, or Score? Love that Leaf set, Chris. Even the packs, beautiful. Like foil packs.
Oh, yeah. It would be a really fun rip. That would be if you could get some inexpensive boxes, that'd be a great thing to rip.
You're right. Ooh, 23 people went with Fleer, but it was actually Donruss. Leaf and Donruss were from the same company. Let's see who the winners are.
Boy, the company may have even been Leaf. Oh,
yes,
Bustin.
It was Leaf, yeah.
Bustin or Posey. I think that's my wife's username, Jeff.
663. Only 2 people beat her then. Clean Cards 5, 678. And baseball card Brett, 698. Did nobody get the last question correct?
Those 3 guys must have not gotten the last question right and still held on to win.
Congratulations. Wow. Baseball card Brett, 700 club. It was within reach.
It was within reach. It was right there. That's like on Family Feud, Jeff, when the first guy gets 198 points and the next person just
can't get it
apart, right?
Yeah. Okay, the Mendoza line is at 32, almost right in the middle, 373. If you beat 373, it's a lot of pressure, Brett. I get it. It's a lot of pressure when you get there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't beat 373, you might have a tough time looking in the mirror tonight. I'm just saying.
The Grand Slam question was a stumper. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was from my son's my son Huey's baseball card trivia book. BFG on the first page. Yep. Congratulations.
Clean Cards 5, another top 5 finish. He's like the oh man, Jeff, there was a golfer recently that just couldn't win. Like there's who was it? Who was like finishing like second or third at the Masters every single year and just couldn't quite win. I don't really follow golf, but I feel like I've heard that story a bunch, but oh well.
That was Phil Mickelson, right? And then
was it? Oh, I think that's it. Yes, thank you. Good job.
Meanwhile, Unier nailed the A-Rod question.
Nice. I should have worked a Yandy Diaz in there.
Yandy Diaz. Maybe that could be one of the prizes. If you're willing to part with one of those someday, send us one. That'd be great in our collection.
All right, it was Phil Mickelson. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for being on.
Brett says he finally peaked in life, and let Chris know what you want.
Yeah, if you want 2 Tatis rookie cards or a rack pack of 87 Donruss or 87 Tops, I'm sorry. Please let us know.
Yeah, I'm with you too. When Chris showed me, I hadn't seen that before. I just guessed it was Stadium Club.
It's so funny. The look on his face. He's even like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this?
Yeah. This is a great idea. Maybe one week we'll have
absolutely.
We could have a viewer trivia. So yeah, if you have questions, send them in to us and we'll pick 10 for a future show.
Yeah, please do. I think that's a great idea. I like that a lot. Send them to us on Instagram.
Yeah, find us on Instagram. Send them to us.
That's what she said. Sports Guard trying to calculate his WAR based on his trivia performance. I like it. Let me know what the equation is. I'm curious how he worked that out.
Baseball card Brett's gonna IG his info and selection. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
This is a pretty good little cheat for Chris. When in doubt, Stadium Club or Braves.
That was going on for a while, Jeff, if you recall. And then for one day, I made them all like opening day, and they weren't Stadium Club, and everyone was getting really mad.
Mad, yeah. Oh, Stewie, yes, I've absolutely seen the pace he's on. He had scored his 40th run in just 35 games. So not only is he still just only slightly behind his 50-50 pace, but his runs pace is awesome. I'd love to see a 150 run season.
Right? Acuna was right there, Jeff. He had 149 runs. And in the last game, he took one at bat and then they took him out. I was like, oh my God, give him another shot.
Get to 150, right?
Get to 150. Yeah. 149 was an insane number of runs. He's like the first player to do that without using steroids in a very, very long time.
Yeah. And Jacob, this is right. You're more likely to get your question on here if you think it would fit. On brand for Blabbin Bout Slabbin.
Yep. Ay. What do we got here? Ugh.
Oh, yes, Doc. This has been spoken of many times. Chris is going to forever live on this. His legendary eye roll.
Someone compared me to Liz Lemon on 30 Rock, and I thought that was like one of the nicest compliments I've gotten in a long time. I love that show.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, though, Jeff. I made a Godfather 2 reference on that episode, and so far only one person acknowledged it in the comments. So I appreciate that person. But I was hoping for more.
Remember what it was.
And Curator of Cardboard, yeah, definitely. There have been quite a few Roy McAvoy-esque performances in trivia. People who have been leading, Jeff, until the second to last
right at the
question,
end,
and then they just disappear from the leaderboard. Yeah, M. Parsons is right. If you focus on, it's like my food pyramid. It's a lot of butts and bourbon. Butts, bourbon, and short prints. Okay. Okay. All right, Forbidden Donut. I'll take a look. Let's get this off.
Trivia. We just show pictures from baseball cards of guys' asses, and then you have to identify the player. Kirby Puckett.
I don't hate that at all, Jeff.
No, I think there could be something there.
We might be onto something right there. I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a glutes trivia, and we'll let you know in advance so you guys can do some studying. Guess the glutes. Great name for it, Doc. Guess the glutes. Let me write that down.
Yeah, make sure you I mean, we forget a lot of things. I'm not sure we'd forget that, but we might.
We might. What are we going to name it? Oh, make M. Parsons says she'll have a chance to win.
Okay. Yeah, she might actually. That would be a tough one to beat her on, I think. All right. Someone told me they messaged me something on IG. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's in the.
Gregory says Baldwin with the walk-off.
Oh, did they win that game? I see Baldwin's up and he's battling. But my computer's also battling some low Wi-Fi.
Walk it off.
Oh, I love it. All right. Oh, all right. We're getting a lot of Drake Baldwin. Enough that I can believe it's true. I like it. All right, Jeff. We had some. You want to talk about PSA for a minute?
Yeah, a couple things with PSA. They were been in the news recently. Just yesterday, they sent out a message that they're bringing the minimum grade back. And for those of you unfamiliar with what that is, typically when you send a card for graded card review, they have the minimum grade. If Chris and I send a BGS 9.5, we can say we don't want it less than a PSA 9, otherwise they won't cross it. But on just cards you send in, a regular sub, they haven't had that. It's been gone for a couple of years. They're bringing it back. I don't really know exactly the use case for it, Chris.
Just to save them the money on plastic,
because it just is easy. If you send a handful of cards in and say all PSA 10 minimums, they look at 18 of the 20 and say, well, they're not 10s. They just send them back. They don't have to even go through the rest of the steps. So it's a no-brainer for them. I'm surprised it went away at all, but I don't really know a use case. Do you?
Nope. I don't know. I don't get this at all. It's a weird, I honestly didn't realize they'd stopped doing it. That's a weird thing to not offer. Like, we'll do less work and charge you the same amount of money if you want. It's a strange business model, but yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? Maybe people don't want their cards in 7s or 8s. I don't know. I'll roll the dice all day.
Then you crack it out, right? Roll the dice, because we've had a few cards that we thought 50-50, 9 or 10, maybe 8 or 9, and a couple of them get a 10, they get a 9. For every one that you get that you think is good, that you get a 6 or 5, that you could just crack it out and keep it raw or resubmit it. It's worth sending them in for me.
Okay. Yeah, and you made a good point, I think, when we were talking about this. If you put a minimum grade on there, it's almost like telling PSA, this might be this grade. Like, the card might be an 8. So please.
Yeah, I mentioned that in our chat. It's a little worrisome. Like, if you send a card in, you're hoping gets a 10, but you're not sure, it might be a 9 or 10. You don't want it anything less than an 8. So you put a minimum grade of 8. Then who's to say they're not going to look at that and say, well, they said they'd be happy with an 8. Well, we can't give them a 10 for sure. Let's just go with a 9. So I don't know. Eloy says he used to do it.
Okay.
He used to sub with min grade. I would sub min grade 9 or authenticate.
Okay. I feel like if you're purely grading to sell, then maybe an authentic would do better than like a 7. There's that weird gray area. I don't know, but I understand the logic behind it to a certain point. Jeff, there's nothing I love more than a great movie quote question. So Forbidden Donut wants us to name the movie.
Fat, drunk, and stupid it should be no way to get through life, son. Right?
I'm thinking about this one. My initial thought was Tommy Boy, but I don't know if that's right.
I don't think so. I thought it was maybe Animal House.
Oh, I see Animal House in the comments there, so maybe it is Animal House. Yeah, it's
Animal House.
Yeah, Forbidden Donut. Is it Animal House? Let us know. I'm gonna be mad. That means Jeff's up 1-0, and that's gonna bother me for a little while.
Nice. You don't do glute trivia. You call it gluten-free trivia.
Oh, I see what you're doing. That's wordplay right there, and I like it. Okay.
Step Brothers? I don't think it's from Step Brothers.
No, I don't think it's Step Brothers.
Lost track.
Is it Animal House? Now we have to know. All right, I see a lot of Animal House guesses coming in.
Yeah, I think
it's Parsons. Okay, it is Animal House.
Mott's, right. I feel like I get a random 7. Yes, I do too. But for me, it's worth it to get the 10s, the 9s and 10s. I would just be afraid that if I put an 8 on the whole list, that they just wouldn't treat it fairly. But
yeah, I feel like I don't want to put any numbers in my graders' heads. By the way, who said it? JD Cards 59. You didn't answer too early. If there's a trivia question in the comments, you answer that thing right away.
Answer it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't worry about us. We'll
Flounder. Yeah, Flounder was being called fat, drunk, and stupid. That's right.
That makes sense.
So. Joseph is not a fan of PSA. Why it's so hype? It's not from PSA. I don't want it. That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, Chris and I like PSA. I think just knowing that the card's authentic is a help, and also just know that
resale value is a big deal.
Resale value, yes. For PC cards, it's great to know that it's in a condition that at least somebody else, whether or not you really buy into them, have agreed with. But yeah, for resale, it's the biggest thing, and it's so much easier to say than, well, this card has kind of a dinged corner, but if it's a PSA 8, they can see exactly what it is, so you don't have to guess.
Yeah, it makes putting a price on something so much easier. If you ever haggled with someone over the possible condition of a card based on photos over the internet, it is an absolute frustration. And there's so many people that'll just lie to you about the condition of their card and then hope that you don't notice something
either lie to you or don't know, or maybe don't notice. Maybe they do. It's just easier. And along with that, Chris, it was announced by Rob from Burbank, who we know, that in their new location, that PSA is going to have a permanent retail spot.
Yes.
Awesome. It's great for people like us who don't like to send cards through the mail. PSA isn't too far from us. Usually it only takes a day, but it's still a stressful day when we send some of our favorite PC cards or expensive cards there. Oh, yeah. And then we have to get them shipped back. And I confirmed with Rob this week, Chris, that we can actually also pick them up there. So that saves shipping, 2 prices of shipping, which shipping back is no joke. $50, $80, depending how much you have that they insure. You save that on shipping. You don't have to worry about it getting lost in the mail. So I think it's a huge boost for people like us. And it's a huge boost for the store as well, because people will be constantly coming in there. So I saw a couple of people complaining about it, maybe that saying PSA should focus more on grading cards, which I get. Yes, they're getting a little bit behind, but this isn't going to affect that a lot. I think they're going to have one employee there 5 days a week, and that employee is going to be not a grader. He's going to be the person that helps intake the cards.
The courier more than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great. There are always stories, Jeff, that we hear about these boxes, like the FedEx stuff getting ripped off.
Yes.
Priority boxes, because we want to believe that all these mail delivery people, they're good people, but they know what the address is at this point. Yes. And it's just, they know that in those boxes, there's probably something valuable, especially the stuff coming out. So it's just nerve wracking. And the fact that we can walk in, I think SFO Sox fans said great business idea would be the Blabbin group sub. But that's a lot of pressure. And I don't think we're going to be up for something like that.
Yeah.
But I love it.
More mail to worry about, but we'd love it if any of you guys would come, and we'd love to meet you at Burbank while you're doing your subs. We've been there before. They've had in-person subs at Burbank, I think 3 times. And I believe we've went to every one. And the line usually goes around the corner and down the block. And a lot of the people in the line never go to a card store or haven't been there. So I think it's a great for Rob and Burbank, because people are going to be in there. They're going to see a lot of cards they haven't seen before. They're going to be able to buy cards. They're going to be able to sell cards. For people that are using PSA for selling, it's a great way. You can pick up your sub and then go and sell. I don't know how much we'll utilize that, but for us, just the fact that we get to avoid the mail is a huge thing.
Yeah, Plumberman here, I think, makes it pretty clear. Like, you're an $18 sub, an $18 card becomes a $22, $23 sub real quick when you factor in their insured FedEx back and us insuring mail to them. Yeah.
Cardaholic with a question. Since you brought up the PSA at Burbank, what's the difference of sending your cards before to Burbank, which I believe they drop from PSA, to sending in to PSA at the same place? Okay, they're not a group sub, so you could never sub through Burbank. They had in-person ones there, like I mentioned, where you could wait in line. You'd meet the PSA reps there, turn over your cards, and they would take them in, which saved you from mailing it to them. But there was still no pickup option unless you were at the Burbank show. You could arrange pickups at the Burbank show, but otherwise you still had to get them mailed back to you. Yes. So this way you're going to be able to go in there, get your hand your paperwork and the cards right over, pay no shipping. They'll get them back, whatever the timeline is, depending on what your level of service is, whether it's express for a week or it's bulk, where it might take months. They'll let you know when the cards are back there. You can put it on the form that you want to pick them up, and you can just pick them up right there. So it's a pretty big boost.
Yes, absolutely. Thick Boy. Yeah, if you guys are on Instagram, check out Ginter Wood Minis. He posted a whole set of Goody graphs So many G's, Jeff.
Goody.
And he just he puts each card up in its own post, and it's a pretty phenomenal thing to scroll through. Thanks for the reminder there, Thick Boy. I meant to pull one up before the show started, and I did not. So yeah, check those out if you get a chance. Some pretty cool autos in that set.
Ginter's got some great stuff.
And you never know what he's going to post, Jeff.
For sure. What?
Oh, I said you never know what he's going to post. What Ginter Woodmaze is going to post. It's going to be something you've never seen before or knew existed, and here's an entire set of it.
Pulling stuff out of.
Yeah.
Forbidden Donut, I'm sure we could consider this. Maybe that's a good summer topic, summer and off-season topic to do a TV movie themed trivia night.
We definitely should. We've talked about doing a video of just our favorite movies from the 90s, which is probably a movie heyday for both Jeff and I in terms of how many movies we saw and stuff that we really love. We should do a little our top 10 for the decade. I think that would be.
Yeah, maybe we will. We could do a video on it and then get some feedback in the comments about what other people liked and then build some trivia off that.
Yeah, just get blasted for saying that Con Air is a good movie.
Con Air. It's no The Rock, but yes.
No,
is that the way GameStop works? I've never tried using them, but I've heard good things. Somebody else was mentioning it in the chat that they've used GameStop. As I understand, that is exactly the way GameStop works, which is nice. Jacob says, graded one card with GameStop 5 months ago, 3-week turnaround, and I got a 10.
There
you go. Yeah. So yeah, I think you just pick them up right there too. So that's probably why they got so many more cards than they were expecting. As PSA said, that was one of the reasons they got so far behind was all of the GameStop business. They weren't expecting to get so much business there. So
I have a question about. I want your opinion on this. Oh yeah. I hope so, Kevin. And yeah, if you're gonna go, please shoot one of us a message. Maybe we can just meet and say hello. What do you think? I was talking to someone I play softball with about this as well, but so PSA has a space in this big Burbank store. Do you think PSA is paying Burbank anything for use of that space? Is Burbank paying PSA anything for being there, or is it just a handshake? We're both going to benefit from this type agreement. What do you think?
I would guess the latter. One of the greatest quotes of all time here. I would guess it's the latter because it's mutually beneficial. As for PSA, it's kind of a first foray into this, and Burbank's providing the space, and Burbank obviously has the clientele. So I'd imagine that's probably something we could ask Rob and talk with him about. He's usually pretty upfront about things.
Yeah,
I did say that it was a big deal to get them to come to the Burbank card show. When they were first doing the card show, it was a brand new card show. Getting PSA to be there was a little bit of a struggle, I should say. But now, Forbidden Donut says Burbank's paying PSA. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of
some compensation going in some direction. But I was just curious. What
do you call it by
okay. See that I would get that, but and then PSA is driving some traffic into the store. It's one of those symbiotic relationships, which is a word I absolutely looked up before the show.
Love that. It's a symbiotic relationship, and maybe there's some sort of commission-based deal, based on how many cards go through there.
Yeah.
John, I don't think they're going to be able to separate this. Once it gets from there into the morass that is the Burbank factory, I don't think it's separated. Similarly to the Burbank show, maybe you get to fast forward the step of going through the big room process. But as we learned from our last PSA drop off at the Burbank show, it didn't really move us up in the line all that much.
I don't think so. By the way, I was really happy with symbiotic, and Jeff just blows me out of the water with morass, which is a fantastic word. It sounds like a word I would use all the time, but actually isn't.
Can you get some more? That's what she said. Sports cards. I'm hoping this isn't the case. They'll find some way to monetize the non-shipping aspect now created by this drop-off and pickup option. That's certainly a possibility. You have to pay a little extra to pick up in person or something like that.
Chip in for gas money for the van going back and forth. I mean, I don't know. Chip in for gas money.
Yeah, you pay a little gas money for the truck that goes back and forth every day. You're right. I mean, it's reasonable to be pessimistic for sure.
Yeah. But all right. Curator of Cardboard has a question for us, Jeff, that I think we should answer because I like it a lot.
Here's one for you. Card chase run you are after. All to 50. One pops up in an SGC 10. You're pulling the trigger and crossing the PSA so they all match. Yes. I think for me, it's 100%. I'd be crossing because I'd like it to match. Now, does that mean you might risk getting a 9? Yeah. Yeah,
you might. You just never know. Different grader, like different companies, like SGC is kind of generous on surface, whereas I think PSA is a little harder on surface. But if you're OCD, like certainly like I am, Jeff, to a slightly lesser extent, when you have your slabs in a box, man, it irritates me when there's one that's a different shape and size.
Doesn't really fit. And now with slab binders too, yeah, it's kind of sticks out. So
I do love my slab binder, and I can't get an SGC in there or a BGS.
That's probably for the best. You wouldn't want them there anyway. Yes, this is what we were just talking about, Cardaholic. Dedicated PSA submission center where you can drop off your cards for grading. Yes, that'll be nice. And I believe Rob said they'll be there 5 days a week. I'm assuming it's the traditional work days. I don't know, though. Maybe it'll be like a Tuesday through Saturday things because there's a lot of people that can't drop off during the week. BFG, I don't believe they're getting a liquor license. Yeah, that might be a little too tough, but yeah, I can imagine people would never.
Definitely that's a little bit problematic for sure.
Blacksmith, I brought this up on our most recent Spitballing episode. Chris, is that one dropped yet? Is that in the one that dropped? I should ask. The Top Industry Conference Tops talked about.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Giving scorecards, giving a scorecard to local card shops, and based upon how they do on that scorecard, that's how much allocation they get. And I made the point in the video that Rob is very against breaking, and breaking apparently is one of the things on the scorecard. But I would imagine that there's other ways to get those points. If you lose the breaking points, you might be able to get them through other ways. So I would imagine that a card store like Burbank would get probably whatever the maximum allocation is for the card stores.
We talked about that scorecard a little bit, and like I don't like how that sounded, Jeff, at all. It just really seemed like Fanatics was trying to control everything about how you run your own sports card shop, and
a little bit of a communist China vibe.
I said it was like a Vito Corleone kind of vibe. That was the
one. Oh yeah.
It's like he's kind of they're trying to control the olive oil sales. Yeah, I didn't like it.
That's right. I do remember when you said that. Yeah, I love the olive oil reference. You're right. There's, I can understand it to some extent. You want a place to be safe. You want it to be a safe environment for people to go to. But yeah, there's some element of control that might seem like too much.
Yeah, I don't know, but yes, a big store like Burbank, I think it benefits Fanatics too much. I don't think they're going to push Rob into breaking because he's very clear that they're not going to do it. I think they're getting enough exposure from that shop that they'll just leave it. They'll leave it be.
Oh yeah, and 28 Relics is right. Okay, two things from 28 Relics. One, yes, I think he'd get bonus points considering he's like the charter member of the Fanatics online platform. They moved their millions of cards over from eBay. So you're right. I feel like
great point. Yeah.
I feel like he's going to get the Fanatics bonus there. But yes, the scorecard did sound like the mob, as 28 Relics said.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. But then again, I mean, oh yeah, and Parsons is right. There are some pretty good bars in Burbank. There's one like only two traffic lights down. Tony's Darts Away, I think it's called.
Tony's Darts Away?
Tony's Darts Away, yeah. It's a pretty good little spot right there.
Yeah,
not that I'm aware of every dive bar within
within the 30-mile radius. There's a lot of good places in Burbank. You're right across from one of the best bakeries in the world, so there's going to be a lot of people going there, I think.
That's right. Yeah, go to oh god, why can't I think of what it's called, Jeff? Trost?
In fact, somebody just at the game brought donuts from there. All right, anybody local on here?
It's like Osts. There's like an OST in it, I think. I don't know, but you go in there, get yourself a Danish or something. We'll stop at a bar for a shot.
Portos.
All right, those letters are in there. Yeah, get a shot at the bar, get a donut, and go right into Burbank Sports Cards. Tony's. That's what I did. There you go.
7. I mean, this is kind of an evergreen concern that people have. Once again, Tops and Fanatics released an independent report. I think it was from KPMG, one of the big 5 accounting firms, That said, everything's on the up and up as far as not knowing where cards are going. And I tend to believe that, and it might be a little naive. I know Neo's talked about this a little on his show, just the amount of that they would have to do to try to exactly put the cards in the right place, and the risk that they would be taking, because if that did happen, that might be it. So
yeah, we want to believe it so much. I feel like we need to believe it. So we convince ourselves of it. It has to be true, because like Jeff just said, if they got busted for deliberately sending certain cards to certain places, like, I don't know. I don't know if they recover. Like, legitimately, they might not recover from that. And then the whole hobby, it's a house of cards, and it comes crashing down.
So I mean, I don't know, just like breakers seeming to get better products, but they open most of the products, so they're going to pull most of the good cards.
Yeah, I know Teapot has been adamant that that wasn't Topps, but that I don't know, Panini or something, that one of their breakers pulled like an absolute statistically impossible amount of one-of-ones. So yeah. I do 100% believe that not Topps would do it, if that makes sense, because they're smaller and they could get away with it. But Topps is too big,
and to get away with something like that. When Teapot was doing that mathematical examination, it was right around when we started to realize that cards were being CAT scanned, CT scanned, which makes a lot of sense.
It sure does. It sure does. All right, Joseph Pirelli's BGS 10 or a PSA 9 are the same card. I mean, I think in that particular example, you have to go with the BGS 10.
BGS 10 still definitely holds a premium over PSA 9. The BGS 10 versus the PSA 10 premium is getting closer.
But I will say this. I also think I think it depends on the card. So you have to give us a specific card, because if we're talking about, say, like a Mookie Betts Hollywood SSSP, I'll take the PSA 9. If it's really rare, I'll take the PSA 9 and pay less and be very happy with it.
If you're paying less, right. Yeah, I'm saying if it's the same price, I would take the 10, probably try to sell it and get a cheaper version if it's a rare card like that.
Yeah, I personally, I have no interest in a BGS 10. I understand that they do command like a hobby premium, but I would despise paying that premium, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if it's a rare enough card, I'll just take the 9 and be thrilled to have it. Like, and gold auto, give me the 9 all day.
And as far as graded card review, Chris and I have had some success with True Gem Pluses crossing over. I would imagine, especially if it's a Chrome card, a BGS 10 would likely cross over to a PSA 10.
Probably.
Be pretty sure on that.
Curator Cardboard, I absolutely love the analogy here. And yeah, I think that if Topps was doing this, they would be an impossible secret to keep. Someone would run their mouth about it, and it would blow up in their face.
Good call. Good call. Yes.
Well said.
Too big of a secret.
Thorson, this has been I've heard this from a lot of people, that first step, this happened to Jeff and I too. Our stuff, it took almost 28 days to get checked in.
And we had a drop off.
Yeah, the package was there. We knew they had it, but it still took almost a month to get checked in. And then it sat there in like order prep for a while. Then it moved kind of fast.
Then it did move fast. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the gem rate reports, but last month, Chris, for the first time, PSA did almost 1.5 million cards. And of that, TCG cards were over 900,000. So I think if you've noticed, they've upped the price a little bit on Pokemon TCG cards. They had a big special on that, and they got massively over flooded. So I feel like they're trying to even that out a little bit. But now it's almost a 2-to-1 trading card game, cards being graded versus sports cards.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's cool. I mean, people want to get into that. That's great. But yeah, I'm annoyed it slows down our blind reveals, though, Jeff.
I am too. Yeah, probably saves us money that we don't keep sending more subs out.
It saves me some sweat as well. Royal Benjamin here with excellent comment. He'll take a 2020 Stadium Club Chrome Austin Riley PSA 5 labeled more ass. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think it was Stewie. I think it was Stewie. Something asked if we had any recent pickups. We're going to put out a video fairly soon about that. We have some really fun stuff coming in.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to show you guys. This was the most recent Braves card I picked up. And I have it somewhere. And all this glute talk, I thought it was very apt. There it is. I love this card. I always enjoy showing it. Even when it takes me a little while to get to it, Jeff.
No, yeah, our attention is drawn.
Oh, I know, right? That's not it.
While you're doing that, HSQ made his debut in the rain-delayed Braves-Dodgers game in the bottom of the ninth where he had no at-bats. not very notable for his debut patch.
No, but it's still his debut.
Yep. It's memorable.
Is that it? Is this it? Oh boy. Nothing like promising something and then taking forever to get to it.
M. Newbert, not at all cost effective to send in sports cards right now, being held hostage for literal months. If you're looking to sell, I absolutely agree. So yeah, the only things we're sending right now are mainly PC cards that were just
absolutely. So yeah, this is the Austin Riley that Royal Benjamin was mentioning from, of course, the greatest set of all time, 2020 Stadium Club Chrome. And what more could you want in an image, Jeff? I don't know.
Well, for you, not much. I love the home run flashing behind him.
Yeah, I picked up one of these about 2 weeks ago. I know there's a couple kind of circulating, floating around eBay right now with some pretty high askings. If this were his rookie card, I think it'd be worth 3 times, maybe 4 times what it goes for. It's a second-year card, but I'll take this over a lot of his rookie autos, Jeff. The image just wins. It really does.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that play out. We haven't even got to the Bo Jackson card, but that's
an excellent point. We do need to get to that.
But I wanted to get, there were 2 questions I wanted to get to. Topps is visiting the shops to determine the scorecard grade. I don't think they're going to take away selling other brands. I do not believe that's part of it. In fact, they probably want you to be selling other brands. They probably want it to be as busy as possible. I know they're going to check on like cleanliness and safety and lighting and stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, Alessandro said, would you guys submit a product defect claim to Topps on a one-of-one, knowing they would not going to replace it with the same one, but similar value? There again, it depends on the person on the card. If it's a player you don't really care about, I would absolutely do it because maybe you'd get value of somebody you do care about. But if it's a player you like or you PC, I would stick with the damaged one-of-one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if it's someone good, you keep it. But if you got a one-of-one of Orlando Arcia and it's damaged, I'm sending that thing right in. I'll take anything else. But if it's a one-of-one of like Gunnar Henderson and it's got like a defect on it, you just roll with it. It's still a one-of-one.
Yeah.
Is it goal? Is it the goal?
This brings me back 28 rounds. This brings back to COVID times where it took over a year. Yeah, you'd forget sometimes what you send, and then you'd be surprised with what you get back. Some good, some bad. Some were completely worthless by the time you got them back.
Oh my God! Right? Yeah, that definitely happened. How many Aristides Aquino and Gavin Lux base Topps 2020 cards sat at PSA for a year and then got shipped back? Yeah. All right, a couple cool sales. I know we're almost at 2 hours, but we can't. We can't not talk about this, Jeff.
We have to talk about it. That's a base. I mean, it's a SSP, but it's not a non-auto, non-rookie, obviously.
Yeah, you can make the argument this is the best looking Bo Jackson card that exists. Like the best image on a card.
Yeah. And anybody who grew up watching baseball in the 80s remembers seeing Bo Jackson, seeing a player break a bat over his knee in frustration in a jersey whose sleeves could barely contain these arms. So it's a great image. It's a memorable image. It's a nostalgic image, but how much is it worth?
This came up, and I think it came up last week, or we talked about what might this go for. I think you said like 350 or 300. I thought it could crack 4, but my goodness, I haven't seen one of these go for bids in a long time, and it looks like a lot of people hadn't, because this bad boy went for almost $900.
Yeah,
I will say it looked great. The condition on it looked really good. But what a really cool card, Jeff. And it's one of those times I wish they did Stadium Club SSP autos, like number to 10 or something.
Yeah.
I can't. This would just be so cool with an auto.
But what a great shot. I love Stadium Club. This particular year of Stadium Club was pretty great. I like the font and the outfield kind of in the background. So it almost looks like a true photo, but you still get the information on there. And with tax, I mean, that's almost and shipping, that's almost $1,000 card.
Yeah. When you factor in tax and shipping. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it was at least 12 months ago, I think, BFG, and it might've been a fixed, like someone just put it up thinking, well, $200 is probably the most I'll get for this. And I bet it lasted about 40 minutes.
Yeah. They might still do this.
Just such an iconic, like people just associate this with Bo Jackson. The only other moment I remember specifically is like him climbing like the wall in center field. Maybe the Stadium Club could put that on an SP or something.
Mentioned that Cardaholic, where he runs up the wall, or where he comes up throwing, and they don't have the same accuracy with the speed guns as they had, but some of the throws he made had to be over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, for sure,
launching those throws, getting that double play at first is the one I'm thinking of. But man,
all right, hold on. Do we think he ever practiced this? Or is he just so mad it happened spur of the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, question. Cardboard Showcase, your collection's doing okay. I think
it probably went to a good cause. That's $75.
Yep. Odds are, honestly, I bet this is that same card cracked out.
Could be.
Man. Okay, hold on. I'm way behind. And let me get back down here. Here we go.
Stewie Griffin's looking for one with Manny Ramirez fan high five to throw out. I want to see a card of Manny doing the cutoff in the outfield.
Oh, and how about, or maybe a JD Martinez card of that play? I want to say it was in right field where he just like smacked that woman's boobs. Like, give me that on a card with a signature from both a dual auto. Maybe
if you could find a woman. Yeah.
What an insane play that was.
All right. Well, I know we're getting up to the end. We didn't get to a couple questions. There was one that I just wanted to get to before.
Okay.
I think it was Cardaholic. The red rookie card for Bowman, would it be worth more graded or sent back to Fanatics? I don't think it's rare enough to have it graded, so I would just hold on to it. And if it happens to be one of the one player you can get money out of, I would redeem it as soon as possible.
Yeah. I also think it's probably worth more today than it will be tomorrow, and it will be the day after that. I think that most of those cards will be on a very steady decline. When I pull up some of the sales, like a James Wood sold for like $75, $80, and that one has absolutely no redemptive value.
No value. Currently. Yeah.
So I wouldn't go crazy with those cards, unfortunately.
Bravos, we don't use Twitter. Chris stays away from completely. I go on there for baseball updates, but I never check my account. But please find us on Instagram if you're on there.
Yeah, I did want to show this card. If you were with us since the beginning, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. We have a lot of fun doing this. We love talking to you guys about cards.
Yeah.
This ended shortly after we started, and at least one of our viewers, our good buddy Shelly the Turtle, was bidding on this.
Is that Canadian dollars, Chris?
It was a Canadian auction, so you're probably paying some tariffs on this one coming in. But
yeah,
I'd never seen a copy of this card before. Like, I know it's on the checklist. There's an image of it on Beckett, but I'd never seen one come up for sale. And so here we go. This went for $329 American dollars.
That's pretty good.
It's a very, very cool horizontal card.
And a great image. Love to see the good images be rewarded. I think, Dan, I was thinking about this when we were talking, when Chris was mentioning the JD Martinez shot. I think there is a card of him having the popcorn, unless I just mentally made a card of it in my mind. But I think there might be a card of that. I'll have to go look.
Be the person who's done that.
Los Bravos, start a new one. Start a new account.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's a great way to see cards, especially with SSB Thursday coming up in a few weeks.
All right. I got one more eBay card I want to talk about, Jeff. This was my favorite card I saw on eBay in the last week, and it was one I was fully prepared to bid on. But as you know, something else came up, and my card funds were non-existent. So I had to let this card go, and it hurt me to let it go because I think it's really cool, and I'm not sure there's another card of these two guys on it with autographs. Okay?
Okay.
BFG, that's a sideline reporter, and I don't know who that is. Okay, hold on. Let me grab it.
Oh, cool.
So this was in Topps archives. It's numbered out of 10. We got a Harper Freeman dual auto. I'd never seen this before, Jeff.
Nor have I. Wow.
This
Divisional foes. Awesome, so they whatever did their buyback of 10 of them, had them sign them, and threw it in archives, huh?
What I just see M. Parsons say new social security number, new life. I don't know what that's about, but I'm sure it's fine.
I think it's trying to get Los Bravos to get on IG again.
Oh yeah, buddy, for sure get back on IG. But yeah, this card is awesome, right? I see a lot of wow, sick card. Like this was great. I didn't even have like a saved search for it. It just randomly, thankfully, I have a lot of Freeman saved searches that managed to pull this one in. But this was great. This is on card. The two of them in one image, similar to the tribute, but slightly different because it's a buyback.
Yeah, but still.
By the way, and if you think I didn't laugh that they both signed like right over their ball sacks, you are completely wrong, Jeff. I chuckle at that every time I look at it.
Yeah, I see that. Notice that.
Yeah, unavoidable. It's just right there. I don't know which one of them did it first. It almost looks like Freeman circling his crotch with his second F, and then Harper was probably just like, "You got it, buddy. I'm right there with you."
All right, I'm going right there.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
And Harper showed a little bit of discipline staying on the card there. That's not a big spot for him to sign.
Yeah, usually that B is gigantic, and he did keep it within his legs, so good for him.
He did it within the crotch.
Right. So this was up for bids. Anyone want to take? I'm guessing some of us. I know Shelly the Turtle and I talked about this card. Maybe he even won it. But anyone want to guess what this went for? Numbered out of 10. Yeah.
$300.
$300. Groin grafts is a pretty funny. Yeah, Ryan, I'm right there with you. Archives is not a set I generally have any interest in. But this card this card is awesome.
Yep. Wow,
$2,000. A lot of tools like this, but
Mad City Brews rolling in with the $2,000. There were some big rollers if it got up that high.
I don't know. Like we got two future Hall of Famers that were in the same division rivals for a decade. It's a very, very cool card. Some weird slouching, some posture. I think a friend of mine referred to it as a Mr. Burns-esque the way Freeman is standing, but this is just really cool. Maybe they'll get a tribute card together, but for now, this is it.
All right, 228, 250, 650, 550, $2,000, 1,000, 1,100. A lot of guesses. Pretty much run the gamut.
All right. I think it's probably going to be right near the middle.
Shelly, I'm with you here.
565.
All right. Yeah. It seems
yeah. I don't know. I like same thing with the Griffey card, Jeff. I don't know what something like this is worth, but people decided it's worth $565. And it sounds like a pretty fair price to me, like for these two guys on one card. Like I said, I don't know of another card that they've both signed like this. Yeah, Jacob, you were right there.
Yep. Good work. Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of either of them, if either of them are your PC, I could see spending that amount on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, had I, were I not in the position I was in, I probably would have won this card, or at least forced the other person to bid more than this.
Yeah. No, we were talking about the Griffey, the tribute Griffey, number to 15, Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. autos.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they have. Did you guys talk about the Griffey 1 of 1? I don't know what the Griffey 1 of 1 is.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what that 1 of 1 means.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, we were talking about the tribute, like Jeff said, of Griffey and his dad. That who was it? That's a weird name. Dang it. There it is. Air Jordan 36. Here, I'll just throw it back up there. We can look at it again. I don't mind looking at it again.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's great.
Love it. This is the Griffey auto we were talking about.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're going a little long. We appreciate you sticking with us. Like Chris said, it's an enjoyable part of our week getting to chat with you. So thanks for sticking with us. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't. Find us on Instagram if you have any questions for us, Baseball Card Addict and My Favorite Cardboard. Please also check out Spitballin' Cards. We have a lot of new stuff up there. We're recording a few episodes every week of different stuff, some hobby news stuff. We go in depth on some players. So please check out Spitballin' Cards when you get a chance. Anything you want to add, Chris?
I think Jeff, you summed it up really well. This weekend is Mother's Day on Sunday. Yeah. So we always tell you, call your parents, absolutely call your moms this weekend. And if you've lost your moms, I'm sorry for your loss, but call your dads. If your dads are still with you, because I'm sure your dad's missing your mom as well this weekend if she's not around. So call someone this weekend.
Well said. Well said. Yes. Appreciate your families and your pets and your hobby. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
See if I can find some music to play us out.
Yeah, let's play us out. Oh, here we go.
Right on the jinxing line. That was appropriate.
Yep, absolutely. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yep.